Joe Biden went crazy, confused the average because 3 soldiers died, but he is facing a very big war: Iran, Iraq, and Syria. He targeted America. Here are all the details in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The most recent is that over 85 targets, including members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and the militias it supports, have been struck by spectacular U.S. airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. In addition to crossing borders, this incredible operation conducted by President Joe Biden's administration in reaction to the tragic attack that claimed the lives of 3 U.S. soldiers in Jordan was distinguished by a stunning spectacle. Beginning around midnight, the operation was surrounded by a blaze of fireballs, exploding fireworks, and vibrant lights, giving the impression that a carnival had materialized into the sky. The sky nearly became a painter's canvas as the planes approached their targets. In addition to adding to the overall show ambience, fighter jets executed maneuvers at high speeds to the accompaniment of music, and sky explosions produced an amazing pyrotechnics display. President Biden's strong will and resolute position against the enemies of the United States were brought to light by the attack. The heinous act in Jordan that claimed the lives of 3 American soldiers prompted the airstrikes. After this momentous event, the administration of Joe Biden made the decision to send a harsh message against Iran's terrorist organizations and aggressive actions. The operation's visual feast went viral on social media very fast, garnering international attention. In addition to being regarded as a diplomatic response, this iconic display of American might is also considered a work of art. By giving the world an amazing show, the U.S. Air Force once again demonstrated its strength on the global stage. The globe has been enthralled by U.S. attacks against alleged extraterrestrial targets in 7 distinct locales. Command and control centers, missiles, rockets, drone storage facilities, logistics hubs, and ammunition supply chain facilities were among the obvious targets that the operation targeted. This iconic attack was more than just a routine air operation, it was straight out of a science fiction film. With long-range bombers, the U.S. demonstrated its enigmatic and formidable might in a grand style. It appeared as though these enormous bombers were emerging from future technologies as they shot into the sky. With these massive attacks on key locations across the globe, science fiction movies do not usually contain the anxiety and adrenaline that the operation did. The target's link was skillfully constructed like a network narrative, offering a dramatic resolution to security issues on a global scale. Like superheroes, long-range bombers descended from the skies and swiftly combated threats all around the world. The amazing explosions brought on by the airstrikes enthralled the spectators with a visual extravaganza that looked almost like something from a science fiction movie. Not only has this amazing operation stretched the limits of technology and power, but it has also made an artistic appearance on the global scene. The United States long-range bombers garnered significant attention globally, transforming into a true aerial display. America's surprise attack in the desert is still resonating. The aftermath of the tragedy aroused a great deal of outrage around the world, even if Syrian official media reported reflections of the agony produced by the U.S. strike in the desert regions and on the border between Syria and Iraq. The deaths and injuries inflicted by the strike have, according to Syrian official media, become a global news story, almost like a sign of impending doom. The results of the American attack completely upended people's life in the area, in addition to the fireball that detonated in the desert. Public opinion around the world became fearful and concerned due to the degree of destruction in the areas affected by the attack. The leaders of numerous nations, particularly Syria, have been profoundly impacted by this assertive American action. Specifically, this attack on sites along the border between Syria and Iraq has raised more worries about instability in the region. In light of these alarming events, world leaders are getting ready to convene and hold emergency meetings. December. President Biden and the officials of the Pentagon attended the arrival of the soldiers' remains in Jordan as a retaliation to the American attack. Emotionally charged, this memorial service underscored the resolve of the U.S. government while simultaneously sending a message to world leaders. People all throughout the world are paying close attention to these post-attack developments. International debate is still sparked by America's sway over the region and the fallout from its assertive policies. The United States declared that it believed Iran was responsible for the drone strike on the soldiers and that it had initiated a swift and decisive response decision. The world was shocked when President Biden and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin emphasized that America will reply and that they will carry on this fight at the locations and times they have chosen. This drone strike drew comparisons to Iran and prompted an urgent gathering of U.S. authorities. Thorough analyses carried out subsequent to the incident made America's resolve clear and held Iran accountable for this strike. Biden stated that Iran was personally responsible for this occurrence and that it was not merely the product of a militia organization, stating that there would be a terrible price to pay for attacking defenseless U.S. servicemen. The initial phase of the U.S. counteroffensive occurred in a setting reminiscent of a science fiction film. It looked like a spaceship hovering between the stars until massive fighter planes suddenly appeared in the sky. December. It stood for the might of the American armed forces around the globe. This invasion challenged not just a nation but a galaxy, evoking the atmosphere of a space opera. The press was informed by Biden and Austin that America's retaliation has not only started but will continue at key junctures across the globe. These remarks sparked a lot of excitement worldwide and emphasized America's resolve once more. It was thought that the U.S. response to this bold attempt by Iran marked the start of a space war. Iran cum herbiskani razi, Iran in kendesin zorbalik yap maya kalazan herkes gukla tepki vera sejani belurderkin, Pentagon Iran la savas arzasuna dil gatermity. America burlsik devletleri daha once Iran destekli grupların saldırılarına yanıt olarak Iraq, Surai ve Yemen'de misalim yapmıştı. Misalim grevleri ABD'nin Irak'taki askeri varlığını zorlaştırabilir. Irak'ta ABD Ankilagundaki askeri koalisyonun gelişici ve askerlerin asimali olarak geri çekilmesi konusunda görüşmeler kurmak için kaba sarf ediliyor.